greeter here. I'm an Appalachian Trail thru-hiker. I finished my Appalachian Trail thru-hike about 3 weeks ago. Today I did a little section hike. I went from Amicalola Falls, took the access trail towards Springer Mountain, did a little side trail over to Linfoot Lodge, and then back to took their Linfoot Lodge access trail back to Amicalola Falls. It was a 10-mile hike. It was great to be back on the trail again. It felt so good. I'm at the bottom of the falls now, and behind me is the archway at Amicalola Falls. This is the traditional starting place where most people will take their very first steps on that great adventure called the Appalachian Trail. For me, though, it was different. I actually ended down here. I did my trail hike a different way. I did a flip-flop. And if you don't know what a flip-flop is, that means I started in the middle and went north, went back to the middle, and then came south. For me, that was a wonderful way to do the hike, and I love doing my hike that way. I got to avoid the huge crowds that we're seeing on the trail, especially at the beginning. And secondly, I'm conserving the trail. All of the people hiking the trail at the same time in that huge bubble, it just damages the trail. The resources are so limited, and that huge number, it's kind of unreasonable to expect the quality that you would get doing it for the flip-flop. I started my hike in March at Rockfish Gap, went north to Katahdin, flew back to Rockfish Gap, then came south, and I ended coming through this archway right behind me. A couple of years ago, I did a little section hike from Fontana Dam up to Gatlinburg. And when I did that hike, I got caught in the bubble. And most of you hikers know when you're in the Smoky Mountains, you have to spend the night at the shelter. When I spent the night at my first shelter, there were 50 people there. There was no privy. If you're on the Tennessee side in the Smokies, there are no privies. North Carolina side, there's only one privy. You can imagine the fun of 50 people trying to use one privy all at the same time. Or in this case, no privy, and walking outside and finding toilet tissue bombs everywhere. It's hard for the trail to sustain that huge number of people. Secondly, that number, it destroys the trail. All those people hiking together, the trail can't sustain that, and it damages the trail. This past March, my friend Bigfoot and I did some trail magic up at Dix Creek Gap. Amicalola Falls had their big kickoff in March, and Bigfoot and I went up to Dix Creek Gap that next Thursday and Friday and did trail magic. There were 120 people that went through in 2 days. You can imagine the lack of solitude. If you're going into the woods to commune with nature, I think it's going to be difficult with 100 other people around you communing at the same time. So in my opinion, doing the flip-flop allows you to conserve the trail and allows you just some peace and quiet and alone time on the trail, which for me, it was a big purpose in hiking the trail. So I recommend a flip-flop. If you're interested in doing flip-flops, you can consider going to the ATC website. That's the Appalachian Trail Conservancy website, atc.org, I believe. And they have some information on how to do a flip-flop. I believe if you'll do a flip-flop, you'll have a richer experience, and at the same time, you'll conserve the trail. Good luck on your next hike.